Hey guys, welcome back to Clubhouse Kids. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 12 favorite books for childcare providers. I know as childcare providers, we are always sharing like our favorite kids books, but for this video, I want to share some of my favorite books that I've used to grow in different areas of my business and become a better teacher. And so one thing that I like to do is I like to pick 12 business related books a year at the end of every year, and those are the books that I would be reading for the following year, and I just kind of map them out. Like in January, I'm going to read this book, February, and so on. And my tip for getting through books, especially books that sometimes if you dig into something and you're like, this is really dry, is to read every day, no matter what. It doesn't have to be like 4 chapters, because some days you might get into a topic that you're a little more interested in and you might, blow through 50 pages, and other days it can feel like it's just really dragging. So my tip to get through books, especially nonfiction books that you're trying to gain information for your business, is to read every day, and at least read, even if it's just one page. One day you just read through one page. I guarantee by the end of the month you will make it through because you are committed to reading that book. When you let a couple days go by not picking up a book, you are much more guaranteed that you are not going to finish that book. So I'm going to be sharing with you my 12 favorite books. These are not the books that I'm reading for 2022. I thought we could start a conversation in the comments and put down your favorite books. I have a list of about 5 books right now for 2022, but I'm still kind of looking and searching for some more. So I would love to get a conversation going in the comments about different books, even for other providers. Like if I share some books that you have already read and you would like to read a book a month for your business, this might just be a really fun video, especially if you're a reader like me, to just get some new books out there that maybe we're not aware of, and we can just further our education and our business and be better daycare providers. So my first couple books that I'm going to be sharing with you are strictly business related, and you guys as providers have probably heard of Tom Copeland, but they are by far my favorite childcare books. His entire series, he writes a whole bunch of them. I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite ones from him. If you have not read these, I would absolutely start with these. These are kind of like your foundation childcare books. It'll kind of get you organized in paperwork and interviews and taxes and all that, and like it's just like the meat and bones of like the business side of being a childcare provider. And so the very first one, absolute favorite one, is his record keeping guide. The company that makes it is Red Leaf Business Series. You can get them directly from this website, or you can get them on Amazon. I think that if you go over a certain amount of shipping, it might be better to get them on the website if you buy them like the whole series itself. If you're going to buy individual books, I think it's cheaper to get on Amazon. And so this one I always go back to and I read. Actually a couple every other year or so I will add this book to it. Every time I go through this book I get new ideas. It's kind of like your foundation book. It's going to show you kind of a good way to just organize all that paperwork that you need for your childcare business. The second Tom Copeland book I'm going to recommend is his marketing guide. This is great if you want to get some new ideas on how to market your business. I do feel like he does cover like technology, like marketing on the computer, cover marketing on like a website or something, but not real in depth. But this is a great starter marketing guide video. I do feel like you could probably get just as much knowledge as like the School of Google on marketing, but it does pertain just strictly to family childcare. And sometimes when you go into, searching for marketing things on the computer, it doesn't really always fit like our category. But this is an excellent book as well for like a beginning marketing introduction. The next one is the Tom Copeland Money Management and Retirement Guide. Now our family really does try to stick with Dave Ramsey principles, but this is a great money management book. It kind of lays out what percentage you should be putting away for retirement, and it really kind of organizes how to take that tuition and break it down into different categories and stuff like that. So I do feel like this book is worth the read as well. And then the last Tom Copeland book I'm going to recommend is his Guide to Visits, Inspections, and Interviews. I found this book, at first when I started reading through it, I was like, oh, this one's probably my most boring one. But the more I got into it, it's very interesting. So they take like some scenarios of different providers who get, you know, like your food program lady is at your door, or you know, you have a licensing person at your door, and it kind of goes through their experience with that inspection or a childcare like potential family interview, and you really gain a lot of cool ideas and tips from those stories. So I recommend this one as well. All right, so that was 4 books. The next 3 books are going to be pertain to like classroom management. The very first one is Shepherding a Child's Heart, and it does have a chapter on spanking. So that doesn't pertain to us. Obviously, it doesn't matter what your view is on spanking as childcare providers. We don't spank our students, so you can just skip that chapter altogether. But all in all, I feel like this book does a really good idea about focusing on the heart instead of focusing on the behavior that's manifesting from the heart issue. So I have read this book over and over again, and I use so many ideas from this in my classroom. The next classroom management book is called Parenting Your Out of Control Child. So if you have a difficult child in your classroom, this book is excellent at getting tips on kind of how to control and kind of diffuse those temper tantrums, and really just include them into the groups and stretching that attention span. And this is, I really recommend this book. And I will link all these below with the authors' names and stuff so you guys can check them out more. Now the next one would be the opposite. If you have a really anxious child in your classroom, or a very quiet child that you are having a hard time getting in to participate, not because of behavior or because they're super shy, this is an excellent book for that. So it's called Your Anxious Child: How Parents and Teachers Can Relieve Anxiety in Children. My own children are pretty shy, and so that I've used some of these methods in here for them. And I've also had many students who are very shy, and it takes just a little bit longer for them to warm up to our classroom, and this is an excellent book for that. And the next book is a business related book. It is my absolute favorite book. This is definitely probably the top 10 books I've ever read. I read this book over and over again as well. I will probably read this book again this year because I get so much from this book. This is my number 1, you guys. You have to read Atomic Habits. So if you ever feel overwhelmed, or you just have way too much stuff on your to-do list, this book will really, really help you kind of center those to-do lists, that priorities, what's very important, what can go. This book is very, very good. So as a special needs mama, I have a heart for children of special needs and being able to include them into our classrooms the same as any other student that comes into your classroom. And so 2 book recommendations I have if you're looking for ways to better include students with special needs, and even more importantly, include those families and make them feel welcome. My top 2 books I have read is called A Different Beautiful. This book is absolutely perfect, especially for childcare providers, because the little girl in this book would be exactly at the age this mama would be looking for childcare for this child. And it's a beautiful story. This mom is beautiful, and it's written from mom's perspective, and so it just really gives you insight into a mom's heart when it comes to having a child with special needs. And then the next one is Scoot Over and Make Some Room. This is another excellent book for us childcare providers to read on how to include every child into our classrooms. And so I highly recommend you read this book as well. And then the last two, this one is written actually as a homeschooling book, but I gained so much from this book as a childcare provider as well. And it's called Teaching from Rest. And it's just all about having that peace in our classroom and not always being in that auto mode where you're just trying to knock out your day, but actually taking moments in your day to take a breath and enjoy what's going on around you. And so this is an excellent book for that. And then the last one is a devotional book, and it's called 30-Day Devotionals for Childcare Providers. I love this book. This could be a book that you use for, one out of the 12, but I honestly just like to use this book. I just place it by my desk, and when I have just need a little moment of quietness and prayer, these are really quick little devotionals that you can really do. Just read it, and if you just get 10 minutes. Sometimes when I first read this, I did it during nap time. Like once all the kids would fall asleep, I would read through one of these devotionals. And so this is another great book as well. So those are my top 12 recommendations for childcare providers. This year, the 12 that I'm going to focus on are going to be more business related. So if you guys have any small business books that you have read that are excellent, comment those below. Also comment any other books that are great for just childcare providers. Hopefully we can get kind of a little running comments in the comment section, and I will link all of these books below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.